Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are waiting for the Miami-Dade and Chipola game, Game 4 today, Game 12 of the tournament, the projected start time is 9:25. We've had a few games go over the allotted time that we had scheduled for them. That's been the case for most of the tournament. But no worries. We're not tired yet. So we are going to be starting this broadcast at about 9:25 when the game is ready. The players are warming up right now, and it looks as though we will start at 9:25. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to stay tuning in, and we'll bring you this game. You're watching the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel, and it'll be myself, Chris Valentine, alongside Marshall Watrous on the call. Hello and welcome to Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium here in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. We are at the spring training home for the Detroit Tigers. Beautiful facilities here. And we're bringing you Chipola College versus Miami-Dade. And Game 4 of today, Game 12 of the overall tournament. Both of these teams are undefeated. Chipola being 1-0 and Miami-Dade being 1-0. These are two of the best teams in the tournament. Should be a wonderful matchup for you today. In the white, we got Chipola. They are the away team. And the team in the blue, that is Miami-Dade. They are the home team for the day. Looking at the Chipola lineup, batting first, Jose Caballero playing second. Batting second, DH, Jacob Silverstein. Batting third, playing third, Andrew Bechtold. Batting fourth, playing first, Ronaldo Rivera. Batting fifth, catching, Max Guzman. Batting sixth, playing right field, Brody Wofford. Batting seventh, playing left, Taquan White. Batting eighth, playing short, Trey Dawson. And batting ninth, rounding out the order and playing center, Edmund American. And pitching for Chipola today is Evan Steele. As we look, Jose Caballero out to lead it off. He'll be facing Miami-Dade pitcher Nelson Alvarez. I'm Chris Valentine, joined by Marshall Watrous. And here's the first pitch taken outside for a ball. 1-0. These two teams, Chipola, at least ranked second in the country. They have been the favorites coming into this tournament. They've played well so far. That pitch taken on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count to Caballero. Alvarez, the right-handed pitcher out of Baddock High School. That pitch fouled off. 1-2. Today's the last game of the night. This game right here. Then we'll have 3 games for you tomorrow. One-two pitch by Alvarez, taken outside. 2-2. That was way outside. If Caballero were a lefty, he'd be on base from a hit by pitch. 2-2 the count to Caballero. Beautiful night here in Lakeland. And he holds up 3-2 the count now. Starting off with a full count to the first batter. Wind blowing from left to right in the outfield right now. It's 81 degrees. Should be dropping to 71 by the end of the hour. And full count pitch. Taken for a ball outside. The leadoff man is on for Chipola. Caballero draws the walk on 6 pitches. The DH, Jacob Silverstein, up to bat. He is the left-handed hitter from Seminole, Florida. Graduated from Seminole High School. And that pitch is high. Taken for a ball. 1-0 to start off. And Miami-Dade catcher Danny Mondejar goes out to talk to his pitcher. Alvarez has been a little bit wild to start off this game. One-0 pitch to Silverstein. Taken outside, ball 2. 2-0 to start off Silverstein. Man on first, no outs. Here in the top half of this first inning. You're watching the FCSAA JUCO State Baseball Tournament on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. That pitch taken for a strike down the middle. 2-1.
If you all just missed out, Santa Fe lost to Palm Beach State. Moments before this, it went to 11 innings, and it ended up being won at the very end by Palm Beach State, so a great game to them.
That was the first game that made it into extras as that ball gets past Mondejar.
For those of you wondering about the schedule tomorrow, Game 13, the first game of the day, is going to be Santa Fe versus Northwest Florida State. That'll be at 10 a.m. Game 14 will be supposed to start at 1 p.m., and that'll be the loser of this game versus State College of Florida. Following that's Game 15 and the final game of the day on Monday, and that's at 4 p.m., and that'll be the winner of this game versus Palm Beach State.
Thank you, Marshall. As we get that quick look into the schedule for tomorrow, and a second straight walk to start this game off. Mondejar goes out to talk to his pitcher once more. The first two batters reach base without having to swing at anything. Two straight walks to start off this game. While we get a break in the action, Marshall, why don't we look at the defense for Miami-Dade?
The defense for Miami-Dade starting in the outfield from left to right is Renovales, Ray, and Varela. Coming in from third base to first, Martinez, Rojas, Urbaez, and Garabedian. And behind home plate is Mondejar.
Mondejar is catching Alvarez today. Bechtold up to bat. The third baseman looks to lay down a bunt, but he pulls back. Pitch is taken outside, 1-0. Bechtold, a good hitter. He hails from Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. Transfer from Maryland, actually. And he swings and misses right through that pitch. 1-1. That was a big cut by Bechtold. He really liked that pitch, but he couldn't get anything. He couldn't get the bat on it. That'll even the count, 1-1. We've seen a lot of scouts in attendance throughout this tournament, and more of the same of that today in this game. 1-1 pitch. He looks to bunt again. He lays one down, and Alvarez will take the easy out at first, and both runners will advance. Now second and third with one out for first baseman Ronaldo Rivera. Already in a jam is Alvarez. He's faced three batters, two have made it on base. And they're now on second and third. They haven't gotten hits yet, and there's a pop-up back in to the left. That will go out of play. 0-1 the count now to Rivera. We thank you for tuning in today. And we thank you for waiting for this game to start. It was supposed to start at 7 p.m. But throughout this tournament, we have had games last longer than expected. The average game time has been about 3 hours and 15 minutes, with one game lasting about 4 hours and 10 minutes today. Swing and miss through that pitch. That's a strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Alvarez. That'll be 2 outs now. Men still on second and third.
Now, two very talented teams here. We're complimenting Miami-Dade yesterday on how high their batting average is for the season, and Chipola also a great showing in the first game versus St. John's River State. So that was on Friday. They've had a day off to recover.
And you mentioned Miami-Dade's batting average. They, as a team, during the regular season, batted for over 350. As a team, that is impressive. And when you have pitching, just average pitching, you'll win a ton of ball games. And Miami-Dade has better than average pitching. That's why they're one of the top three teams in this tournament. one of the favorites to win. Good curveball by Alvarez. He gets that strike called. Max Guzman up at the plate has runners on second and third. 2 outs now. 1-1 count. Alvarez looking to get out of this jam without allowing a run to start off this game. And swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strike 2, I apologize, but it gets past Mondejar. That'll come in. Caballero will come in to score, and Silverstein will advance over to third base. 1 run comes in. 1-2 count to Guzman. There's still 2 outs. One-two count. Wind blowing in the outfield left to right. Had almost no wind in games 1 and 2, and it quickly picked up in game 3, and it stayed consistent throughout then until now.
Chris, we were talking earlier about Miami-Dade College's .350 batting average. Chipola College, however, their batting average as a team for the season is .356.
356. That's impressive.
So there going to be a lot of hit balls today. Both talented teams.
There's a grounder over to second, and making the play there is Baez to end the inning. 1 run scored, no hits, 1 man left on base. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the first inning. Miami-Dade will look to answer. We'll be right back. We are back here in the bottom half of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Miami-Dade lineup. Batting first, playing second, Jackie Baez. Batting second, playing short, Jose Rojas. Batting third, playing center, Brian Ray. Batting fourth, playing first, Christian Garabedian. Batting fifth, playing right, Ramon Varela. Batting sixth, playing catcher, Danny Mondejar. And batting seventh, playing in left field, Joseph Renovales. Batting eighth, DHing Ronnie Penalto. And batting ninth, rounding out the order, Edgar Martinez, the third baseman. Pitching for Chipola, I should say, is Evan Steele, number 17. First pitch taken for a ball outside. 1-0 the count. That pitch fouled back into the netting, aims it up, 1-1. quick thanks to everybody at the FCSAA, including and especially FCSAA Executive Director Kelly Warren for allowing us to be here today. Urbaez checks his swing on that pitch, and it's called a strike anyway. 2-1. We'd also like to thank Davey Gill for offering us this opportunity. Thank you guys for everything that you have done for us. It's been an honor to call these games, and it will continue to be an honor throughout the rest of this tournament. 1-2 pitch, fouled back into the netting. Count will stay 1-2. Urbaez stands 5'8", 185 from Columbus High School. He's a sophomore. This will be his last year with Miami-Dade. And swung on a miss. Strike 3. Evan Steele strikes out the first batter he faces. That'll be out number 1. Marshall, let's take a look at the defense for Chipola College.
Starting in the outfield from left to right is White, American, and Walford. Coming in from third base over, Bechtold, Dawson, Caballero, and Rivera. And behind home plate is Guzman.
Thank you, Marshall. Guzman will be catching Evan Steele. There's a grounder over to first. Good stop. Alvarez runs over, makes the tag at first. That was Ronaldo Rivera on the stop. Good play. That'll be 2 outs here in this first inning. Chipola leads 1-0. Up to bat now, center fielder Brian Ray. Here's the pitch from Steele. Curveball. Called a strike on the inner corner. 0-1 to start off Ray. Good curveball. That barely caught the inside corner. And he throws that curveball again, but this time it's hit into right field. And there to make the catch is Walford. 1-2-3. Go the Sharks. That'll end the first inning. Chipola leads 1-0. We'll be right back with the top half of the first. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back. We are back here in the top half of the second inning. Chipola leads 1-0. Up to bat, the right fielder, Brody Wofford. He fouls that pitch off, hits the catcher, Mondejar's mask, and hits the ground. That'll be strike 1. Mondejar seems to be okay, so no break in the action. Alvarez's pitch. Taken outside, ball 1, 1-1 the count, all even. On deck for Chipola, the left fielder, Taquan White. Another pitch from Alvarez. Taken for a ball in the dirt. 2-1 to start off Wofford. And Wofford fouls that one off. That looked like it fouled off his knee. He's good. 2-2.
Brody Wofford, batting average is .338 for the year. He's got 5 homers.
Good power and average from the outfielder. 2-2 pitch. And swung on, hit to first. And bobbled. And Wofford is safe. Good hustle by Wofford. Garabedian was unable to hold on and make that grab cleanly.
And how about Wofford hustling there to first base? And, you know, a good effort by the pitcher, but Wofford laying out for that base and getting safe at first.
And we'll see how that is scored. That is scored as an error on Garabedian. Taquan White comes up. And Miami-Dade expecting bunt. Edgar Martinez is about 8 feet on the grass from third. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. The count. Man on first. No outs for Taquan White. And off with the pitch. And out is the call. Wofford unable to use his speed to get to second that time. And he's called out on the base paths. That'll be the first out of the inning. He got a good lead, but he didn't get a good jump, and it showed. That was a wonderful throw by Mondejar. Able to throw it down to Rojas to tag him out. 1-2 now after that pitch taken outside. Trey Dawson, the shortstop, on deck for Chipola. Pitch to White. Swung on. Hit into left field. That could be trouble. That will drop. And Taquan White rounds first and stays there. And he's got a hit. That hit just a light blooper. Well, that was enough. Had enough power on it to get it out of the reach of Rojas.
And a great job by White, just finding some open field, getting that ball to drop, and getting a single out of it.
Good things happen when you make contact. Trey Dawson comes up with a man on first. 1 out now. Pitch to Dawson taken outside. 1-0. Taquan White being held on first by Garabedian. And swung on and missed. That ball was in the dirt. Bad recognition by Trey Dawson. And that evens the count at 1-1. That being said, it was a good curveball by Alvarez. Had a lot of action.
And Dawson, one of the 2 transfers on this team from LSU. The other being Brody Wofford, the man who just got tagged out at second base.
Both transfers from LSU are inserted into this starting lineup. And that is a foul ball. Wow, that's one of the weirdest plays that you'll see. And that's the rule. That was thrown behind Dawson, and he tried to drop his bat, and he wasn't able to. That's a foul ball. 1-2. There's another look at that. That pitch looked like a curveball that was Alvarez lost control on, and it hits the bat of Trey Dawson. 1-2 now to Dawson. White still there at first, and that one hits Dawson. Alvarez not showing good command to start off here in his first inning in the third. And the umpire is saying it did not hit Dawson. And they're sending White back to first and Dawson back to the plate. It sounded like it made contact with his leg. And it sure looked like it. Looked like it was redirected. And it wasn't redirected by the bat this time.
Not much you can really do there is Trey Dawson. If he did get hit, that is unfortunate. You take the pain. You do earn the... You want to think you earned the base after taking one off the body, but it doesn't show, so...
I mean, he could try to show the umpire the mark, but I don't think
Not much you can really do there in that situation.
I don't think that would be appropriate right now. And he strikes out swinging. So that'll retire Dawson.
Trey Dawson thought he had a free base there, but instead
it wasn't free. He earned it.
That's right. He did earn it, and instead he strikes out. So really unfortunate set of events there for Dawson if that ball did happen to hit his leg.
He earned that base, and it was stolen from him. In my opinion, at least. I, of course, don't have the very best view, but I'm pretty sure that it did hit that leg. And a bunt laid down by Americon. That'll be trouble, and safe at first is Americon. Alvarez unable to get a clean handle.
And how about Americon? Chipola College must be working on their 40-yard dashes in practice because he got to that first base quick.
That will be called a hit. That puts White over there at second in scoring position, and Americon over at first. And just think about it. If it weren't for that hit by pitch, non-hit by pitch for Dawson, they could have bases loaded with one out or runners on second and third with 2 outs, depending on how that bunt would work out. That pitch taken inside for a ball. 0-1, Caballero back up.
And Caballero, one of the reasons this team's batting average is so high, he's got a .385 batting average. And he's got 10 home runs on the year. We mentioned earlier Justin Smith. We've been saying his name all tournament.
And a pickoff attempt over at first. And that was a very, very close play. Americon just able to get back in, says the umpire.
Good job by Americon holding the pose there at first base, making sure he got there.
That was a very close play. Possibly a makeup call. I wasn't able to see whether or not his hand was in there because the first baseman, Garabedian's knee was in the way. But I'll have to trust what the umpire says. He had the clear view. 2-0 the count. And swung on hit. Deep into left, and that'll curl foul. That would have scored both runners. And that would have been an extra base hit for Caballero. Caballero showing the power there. He hit that ball hard. And like you said, Caballero second in this tournament, I believe, as far as we know, to Justin Smith in home runs. And you don't see second baseman with that much power that often. Really, the only one that comes to mind is Robinson Cano, second baseman for the Mariners, in the majors at least, with that much power coming from second. That pitch fouled back. 2-2. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 men on, first and second. For the second baseman, Jose Caballero, that's a lot of 2s. Caballero gets in his stance. Alvarez ready to deliver. And that's inside in the dirt. 3-2 full count. Second full count of the game for Alvarez. Both have come to Caballero. He drew a walk in his first at bat. Let's see if he can do it again. Let's see if he can do anything more than that. Full count to Caballero. Here's the pitch by Alvarez. Runners off, and that's a ball. Caballero forgot the count. He stood in the batter's box for a second, but he draws a second straight walk and the second straight inning. Both coming off full counts. Bases will be loaded for the DH, Jacob Silverstein, the left-handed hitter out of Seminole, Florida. And a conference on the mound will be called into order. Miami-Dade already has a pitcher warming up in the pen.
It's pretty early, for the top of the second, already having a pitcher warm up. Last game, as we mentioned, Palm Beach State, they had their pitcher pitch all 9 regular innings. Once it went to extra innings, then they got in a new one. So
And Marshall, you have a correction on one of the claims that I made about Caballero being the having the second highest home runs in this tournament. Go ahead, tell the audience what you just found out.
Andrew Bechtold, the redshirt sophomore for this Chipola college team, the transfer from Maryland, he actually has 11 home runs for this Chipola team.
Oh, and there's a drive deep into right field. Sorry to interrupt, Andrew. I'm sorry, Marshall. And that is caught. Wow, great catch out in right field by Varela. And that will end the inning. That was Ramon Varela there to make the home run. What seemed to be a grand slam robbing catch. At the least, that would have been extra bases and base clearing at that. Impressive catch by Varela. And we'll be right back for the bottom half of the second inning. Miami-Dade will look to put a run or two on the board. We'll be right back. And we are back here in the bottom half of the second. Leading off for Miami-Dade is the first baseman, Christian Garabedian. Takes that first pitch on the outside corner. Called a ball. A 1-0 pitch from Steele. Fouled off. Left and back. That'll make it a 1-1 count. And that pitch in the dirt, 2-1 now to Garabedian from Steele. Chipola leads 1-0 on that single run scored in the first inning. And a good curveball called high. 3-1 the count. Garabedian looking to get something going here in this bottom half of the second inning. If he can get on base through a walk or a hit, that'll be very good for this team. And he's hit by that pitch in the forearm. He looks to be shaken up a little bit, but he earned that base, and he'll take it himself. He won't let anybody come in for him. Runner on first. Now no outs for the right fielder who made that spectacular grab in the outfield, Ramon Varela. In the last game, Ramon Varela went 1 for 1 with 3 walks. Sorry, he went 0 for 1 with 3 walks and an RBI. So he made it on base and brought in a run. He made it on base 3 times without recording a hit. Varela swings through that pitch.
And Varela, this Sharks' most consistent player here. He's played in all but one of their 48 games for the year. He's got a .366 batting average. He's a sophomore for this team.
He looks down. He looks to lay down a button. That pitch gets behind Guzman, and the throw down to second way late. I don't know why Guzman decided to throw down. But no harm, no foul. 1-1 now. Garabedian over there at second for Varela. No outs. 1-1 the count. Corners are in. They know now that Varela is looking to bunt, and especially now trying to get the runner, who would be the tying runner, over to third base with 1 out. It would be very, very helpful for this team at this moment. Here's the pitch by Steele. And no bunt. Cut at and held up, but called a strike. 1-2 now to Varela. Surely there won't be a bunt this time. The corners have gone back to their normal spots. Runner on second. Good opportunity for Miami-Dade to do something here on offense. And he takes that pitch outside. 2-2 now. Good eye by Varela, laying off that wide fastball. And a move, fake move back over to second by Steele. Trying to keep Garabedian close. Pitch by Steele, fouled back. Still 2-2. Varela visibly frustrated. He knew that was a wonderful pitch to hit. He just wasn't able to get the best contact on it. But he stays alive, 2-2. No outs. Runner on second. Miami-Dade down by 1. Good opportunity to tie it up.
And Chris, I'm curious if Ramon Varela and Benito Varela are relating, being that Miami-Dade's in Miami and Benito Varela is from Miami.
Maybe we can find that out tomorrow.
Both great baseball players in this tournament.
Both catchers. No, I apologize. Benito Varela is a catcher for Palm Beach. Ramon Varela, a right fielder here for Miami-Dade. Steele steps off the rubber. Forces Garabedian back over to first. Or to second. And Varela fakes. I apologize. Garabedian fakes the steal. And Varela goes down looking. That'll be the first out of this inning. Second strikeout of the game for Steele. Catcher Danny Mondahar comes on to face Steele. Garabedian still over there at second. One out now.
Mondahar, the catcher, with a .355 batting average.
Good average for your catcher, who should be the leader, one of the leaders on your team. Takes that pitch low, 1-0. In last night's game, Danny Mondahar went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And that pitch called a strike on the inside corner. Good curveball. Just catches part of the zone. 1-1 now. Joseph Renavales on deck, the left fielder for Miami-Dade. And there's a move back over to second. No throw. Forces Garabedian back to second, though. And that pitch, another curveball in the inner part of the plate. 1-2, 2 straight curveballs by Steele. 2 straight calls on the inside corner for him. That curveball is starting to work for him. 1-2 the count. It's Mondahar. And he calls time. Steps out, takes a couple hacks. Then he digs back in. He's ready. One-two pitch from Steele. And swung on, grounded over to first. That should be an easy out. And it is for Rivera, Ronaldo Rivera. Runner moves over to third, Garabedian. And Mondahar will sit back down in the dugout. That'll bring up Renavales, the left fielder.
Renavales, a graduate of Conrad High School. He's a freshman for this Miami-Dade Sharks team.
And a freshman starting in this Miami-Dade lineup is pretty impressive because of how deep their team truly is. 1-0 the count after Renavales takes that pitch inside for a ball. Runner on third. That's Garabedian. 2 outs. Miami-Dade sees their chance to tie it here. Slipping away. Renavales will try to do something about it. Pitch from Steele. Inside. Blocked. by Guzman. He lost it for a second, but it didn't go too far from him. So Garabedian is forced to stay there at third. 2-0 now. Count in favor of Renovales. He should see a pretty good pitch here. See if he takes a hack. He steps out, digs back in. Pitch from Steele. Inside, called a strike on the inner corner. Wonderful pitch by Steele. Getting back into this count. 2-1 still hitters count, though. And swing and a miss, strike two. Evens up the count. And just like that, Evan Steele is in control of this at bat. 2-2, 2 outs, man on third for Renovales. And swung on, I believe swung on. And the umpire does say yes, swung on and missed. Renovales unable to hold his swing. That'll be the third strikeout of the night for Evan Steele. No runs scored, no hits, one man left on base. We'll be right back in the top half of the third inning. You're watching the FCSAA JUCO Baseball State Tournament on the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel. I'm Chris Valentine alongside Marshall Watrous. We'll be right back. We are back here in the top half of the third inning here at Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. Leading off for Chipola, number 10, the third baseman, Andrew Bechtold.
At the top of the second, we were briefly talking about Bechtold. He's a transfer from University of Maryland, but he's definitely a player to watch for in this tournament with very impressive stats here. He's played in all 49 of their games, so the most consistent player on this team, the only player on their team to do so. He's got 11 homers, 56 RBIs, and a 445 batting average. Yes, you heard that right, 445 with 11 homers.
445 with a 4 to start off.
With a 4, yeah, and 49 games played.
That's impressive for a day in and day out player like Bechtold. Every team needs an Iron Man, and it seems that Bechtold is that for Chipola. Not only is he an Iron Man, but he's a very impressive player and one to look out for. 2-0 the count to Bechtold now. And looking at his stats real quick, he's got an on-base percentage of 556. 556. That means over half the time, 55.6% of the time he goes to bat, he ends up getting on base. And a slugging percentage of 732. 732. I mean, 73.2% of the time, he hits the ball hard into the outfield. That pitch is taken inside. Strike one, 3-1. That's impressive from a sophomore like Bechtold. And he hits that ball really high. And I mean really high. It stays in the infield. There to make the grab was Rojas. And that will retire Bechtold to start off this third inning.
Next batter today is the first baseman, number 35, Ronaldo Rivera.
Ronaldo Rivera will come up, the first baseman. He struck out in his first at bat. First pitch to Rivera, fouled. Back at the catcher. 0-1. That's the second time that Mondejar has been hit by a foul ball, but he seems to be okay. He's pretty tough. And swung on, fouled over the roof. That'll be strike two. 0-2 to start off Rivera.
We mentioned Rivera the first day. He stuck out mostly for being a first baseman with such size. He's listed at 6'6", 250.
That pitch is hit on. Looks to be foul. Will there be a play? No, there will not. Goes off the roof over there in foul territory.
I think one of the more impressive plays from day one was the big man Rivera at first base, stretching out for one of the balls thrown to him, doing the splits completely. At that size, for anyone, that's impressive.
Yeah, especially when you weigh 250 pounds. He's from Toa Alto, Puerto Rico. Moved over to Chipola to play college ball. And he's worked the count to 2-2. And that split that you were talking about was from the very first game that we covered. And the umpire ruled that his foot had left the bag. But I could see right over here that his foot was on the bag. So a missed call on an amazing attempt, it will go down as, by Rivera. He's worked this count full from 0-2, one out, nobody on. Pitch from Alvarez, swung on, hit left center field. On to make the catch is Brian Ray, and he will complete it. That will be the second out of the inning. That will bring up the catcher, Max Guzman.
Now, Chris, we're talking about Rivera. He's a very nice tool for this team. He has got a batting average at .444, just beneath Andrew Bechtold, and he's actually got one more homer in the year than Bechtold with 12.
So I was wrong twice, is what you're saying.
This stat line just keeps getting better and better every time you look at Chipola's statistics. This team is just unreal, stacked with talent.
Every time I look at this team, every time we watch them play, which this is the second time that we've watched them play, they were down 2-0 for most of that first game. That's a strike call that looked really inside. 1-1 the count. Every time, to go off what I was saying, they were down 2-0 for the first 7 innings of their first game. Then they stormed for 2 in the 7th inning and 3 in the 8th and held on against Eastern Florida, it was? I believe it was Eastern Florida in the very first game of this tournament. 1-2 the count now to Guzman. Sorry, that was St. John's River State College. They have since been eliminated. They are actually one of the better teams in this tournament. They played well. And they lost to Northwest Florida State College. And that's a ground out to first. Garabedian on to make the out there at first. That will be the end of the inning. 1, 2, 3 Go the Indians. We'll be right back in the bottom half of the third inning. We are back here in the bottom half of the third inning. Leading off for Miami-Dade, the DH, number 18, Ronnie Penalto. Penalto went 2 for 2, scored 2 runs in the last game for Miami-Dade against State College of Florida. That was a 7-0 shutout. Takes that first pitch for a ball, 1-0. That pitch taken outside, 2-0. Good eye by Penalto, taking those first 2 pitches for balls.
Penalto, a freshman outfielder for this team. He's listed at 5'11", 180.
That pitch outside as well. He works the count 3-0. And Penalto is in full control of this at bat. And a 4-pitch walk. That will send Penalto over to first. And I'd like to make a correction that I stated earlier in the first game. I'm sorry, the third game, the game previous of this. I said that Kyle Fajard was the only pitcher to pitch 9 innings, and I had forgotten about Alex Valverde in Miami-Dade's first game. He pitched 9 innings, gave up 2 hits, and he got the complete game shutout. I apologize for not giving him the credit that performance deserved. So looking back at the stat line, Valverde, and I haven't mentioned him when asked about who has impressed me at this tournament. But looking back at that stat line, remembering this game, he faced 28 batters, 1 short of the minimum. That's impressive. Even though he did give up 2 hits, that's still impressive for a 9-inning shutout. But he faced 1 more batter than the minimum required for a 9-inning ball game.
That's insane. That's insane right there. A great job by Valverde. He really put on a show the other day.
And he threw for 120 pitches.
That's insane.
What a workhorse.
Miami-Dade, just like Santa Fe, they got a bye So they didn't start their first game until Saturday morning. They were the 10 o'clock game, and they defeated State College of Florida 7-0.
I'm sure if Miami-Dade continues to win throughout this tournament, we will see Valverde. I doubt next game, because only a day rest off of 120 pitches is very short. But I'm sure he's itching to go out there again. So if they can win one of their next 2 games, as a throw over to second is over the head of Dawson by Guzman, and in there for a stolen base is Penalto. And the umpire sending him back to first. I believe they're calling batter's interference on Martinez. It looked like Martinez was in the way out of the batter's box. And that impeded the throw by Guzman.
And, man, talk about Penalto being quick. He got all the way over to second, and after that ball overrolled the man at second base, he was thinking about going to third. Whoever put the brakes on and stayed at second. However, Penalto, great job getting over there.
That was a great lead and an even better jump. That was one of the best jumps I've seen at this tournament on a stolen base.
Just unfortunate that won't count.
Jeff Johnson, the head coach at Chipola, is out there. I think he's arguing that Penalto should be out due to the interference. No, I apologize. That was not Jeff Johnson. That was the third base coach for Miami-Dade. He was arguing his case for his player, and they do call Penalto out, as I expected that they would. Pitch is high, 1-0. And Martinez was out on strikes. That's why there are 2 outs now. Now batting the second baseman, Jackie Urbaez for Miami-Dade. Counts 1-1 to him.
Urbaez with a .343 batting average on the year. He's had a pretty great year. He's a sophomore graduate from Columbus High School.
Bunt attempt. And he did not go. He pulled back in time. 2-1. And like we were saying, if Miami-Dade continues to win throughout this tournament, I cannot wait to see Alex Valverde pitch again. I had forgotten about his performance, but now that I see his name, look at his stats, that was one of the best performances I've seen in this tournament, maybe the best. 2-2 the count to Urbaez. Jose Rojas, the shortstop, on deck. Pitch from Steele. Swung on a miss. Foul tip strikeout. That'll end the inning. That's the 4th strikeout of the game for Steele. We'll be right back in the top half of the 4th inning. Chipola still leads 1-0. We are back here in the top half of the fourth inning. Chipola leads 1-0. They scored the only run of the ballgame in the first inning. First pitch to Brody Wofford, taken for a ball in the outside corner. 1-0 the count. Brody Wofford reached on an error by Alvarez in his first at bat and was later caught stealing.
Wofford, originally from Rome, Georgia. As we mentioned earlier, he is one of the two players on this team from LSU, a transfer.
The other being Trey Dawson, like we discussed earlier. 2-1 now to Wofford. And swung on foul tip, 2-2. Two-two pitch from Alvarez to Wofford on its way. And swung on, hit to left. Looks like it'll be foul, and it will land in the stands. Come back onto the field. That'll keep the count at 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Brody Wofford is out on strikes. Good pitch by Alvarez to get Brody Wofford looking. Third strikeout of the game for Alvarez. Up to bat now to Quan White, the left fielder. Takes that first pitch for a ball. 1-0. Alvarez out of the windup. Taking inside, 2-0. Taquan White singled to left in his previous at-bat. See what he can do in this one. And he takes that pitch on the outside corner. 2-1. Called strike. And that pitch called a ball. 3-1. Three-one pitch. Taken for a strike. Down in the zone. 3-2 full count. Fourth full count of the ballgame for Alvarez. Starting to rack up that pitch count. 3-2 count. Swung on, hit the left, foul ball. That'll keep the count full. And that one, another pitch thrown behind a batter. I believe that one hit Taquan White. And he'll head to first. We're back here. Taquan White reached on a hit by pitch, I believe. I will check on that in between the half inning when this half inning is over. But Taquan White is on first. Batting is Trey Dawson, the shortstop. He struck out swinging his first at bat. And he takes that one off the shoulder. Two hit batters in a row. And maybe Miami-Dade will No, maybe not. It looked like they were going to go for a conference on the mound. The coach was just picking up a ball. The ball that hit Trey Dawson.
How about the dugout from Santa Fe? How about the dugout from Santa Fe? Giving his teammate Trey Dawson a little motivation after getting hit. So now we got runners on first and second, both walked there.
American comes up to hit. He had a bunt single his first at bat. That pitch low and in, called a ball. 1-0. Men on first and second, 1 out for American. One 0 pitch from Alvarez. Swung on, fouled up the first base line. That'll leave the count at 1-1. American, very speedy. As a center fielder, you need to be. And he asks for time. It's not granted. But the pitch goes in his favor. 2-1. I believe that might have gotten into the head of Alvarez. But it works out. And ball 3 taken on the outside corner. 3-1 now. Alvarez not showing good command here in this fourth inning. He's hit 2, we believe. And he's down 3-1 in the count to American. And he walks him. Bases loaded. 1 out now for the leadoff hitter, Jose Caballero.
Next batter is the second baseman, number 7, Jose Caballero.
And that's Urbaez and Martinez going out there to meet Alvarez and Mondejar on the mound. Just have a little exchange of words there for the teammates.
And it looks like they are going to be making a move to the bullpen. They are. That will end the night for Nelson Alvarez. He's only given up 1 run and 2 hits. But he's walked 4 on the night. And he's hit 2. 2 of those hit batters coming in this inning. We'll be right back with the announcement of the new pitcher. We are back here with the new pitcher for Miami-Dade, number 11, Jake Eichacker. Right-handed pitcher out of IMG Academy. Sophomore, standing 5'10", 172. He comes on to face Jose Caballero. Bases loaded. 1 out. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 to start off, Caballero. Second pitch, outside, good block by Mondejar. Able to keep that ball in front of him, possibly preventing the run coming in from third. One and one the count. Eichacker in a big situation. Taking that pitch was Caballero. Looked good, but called a ball. 2-1. Two-one count. Swung on, fouled down the first base line. 2-2.
How about the difference in the pitchers here, with Nelson Alvarez listed at 6'4", 230, and Eichacker at 5'10", 172. Eichacker with somewhat of a sidearm pitch here.
2-2 pitch to Caballero. That ball is taken low, 3-2. And Marshall, you point out that he's sidearm. He's not the traditional. He doesn't have the traditional sidearm delivery. He stands straight up as if he pitches overhand. But he still throws that ball sidearm. That pitch hit down the third base line. That goes foul. We'll try it again. Full count to Caballero.
Out of all the different pitchers we've seen, it's just really unique how every single person has a different stance, a different style of pitching. And Eichacker, not the first player from IMG we've seen here at this tournament. Like we mentioned earlier, an athletic factory for players to work on their skills and go take it to the next level.
And that ball is outside. That should be ball four. It is. Hesitation there by Caballero, and that will walk in a run. Two to nothing game now. Base is still loaded, 1 out. And Jacob Silverstein, who nearly hit a grand slam in his last at-bat, if it weren't for that amazing catch in right field by Varela. Ramon Varela making that wonderful grab there at the fence. This could be a completely different ball game. And first pitch outside, taken by Silverstein for a ball. Caballero on first, Americano on second, and Dawson on third. That pitch, a strike called to Silverstein. Evens up the count at 1-1.
And Silverstein, the Seminole, Florida native, he's got a .377 batting average on the year.
Swung on, fouled over to the Miami-Dade dugout. 1-2 to count. Now to Silverstein. Bases are juiced. 1-2 the count, 1 out. Bechtold on deck. And if Silverstein's .377 average isn't scary enough with bases loaded, we go to Andrew Bechtold's batting average at .445. And that'll scare you even more. That pitch outside, 2-2. Good reaction by Mondejar, able to keep that ball in his glove. preventing yet another run, possibly. As a car alarm goes off in the parking lot, and it stops. Thank you. And swung and a miss, strike 3. Silverstein strikes out swinging.
And a great job by Eichaker. Getting in, bases loaded, a lot of pressure on him, and he goes in there and gets a strikeout. So now we've got 2 outs here, still bases loaded. However, we do have Andrew Bechtold in, the man with 11 homers on the year.
And I can't stress this enough. His stat line is insane.
Even
69 runs on the year in 49 games. 49 games. He scored 20 more runs than he played games.
Even scarier than that, if he just gets on base, right behind him is Ronaldo Rivera, and the man with a 444 batting average.
Good 1-2 punch for Chipola. And there's a drive foul down the left field line. That would have been a base-clearing double more than likely. That would put this game to 5-0. But we tried again. 1-1. That was a good piece of hitting by Bechtold, even though that did go foul. That's the second time that a hard hit ball by Bechtold down the left field line has just gone foul. That one by a matter of inches. The first one by about 2 or 3 feet. And he swings, hits that over to short. Safe at second. And safe called at first. The hesitation over there at short by Rojas. And everybody's going to be safe. He wanted to go to second, but he didn't have enough time. So he hesitated, tried to make the throw over to first, and Bechtold beat that out. So that is a infield hit for Bechtold. Not the expected way that you would think of Bechtold getting on base. A hit in the infield.
And the one thing that Jake Eichaker has to do on the mound, he's just got to keep his cool. He can't get rattled. Bases are still loaded and still 2 outs. So especially with the big slugger coming up, he's really just got to keep his cool, and his catcher goes out there to just help him do that.
And you say big slugger. I don't know if that does Rivera justice. Just like it wouldn't Bechtold. But that's probably the best way we can really describe these two. Amazing 1-2 punch for Chipola. And it really shows how good of a recruiting college they are. Able to recruit 2 players who are batting at almost 450.
That's right, and we did mention Jose Bautista is a graduate of Chipola College.
Not bad alumni. 1-1 the count to Rivera, and he pops that ball. And stepping on second for the force out is Rojas. Miami-Dade keeps the damage at 2 runs. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the fourth. Chipola now leads 3-0. We are back here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Quick update. I promised that I would find out the hit batter or base on balls for Taquan White. It was a base on balls, so that pitch by Alvarez to put Taquan White on first was 100% behind him. It didn't make contact with Taquan White at all. So that just adds another walk into the stat line for Nelson Alvarez. And that grounder over to second, and good play made over there by Jose Caballero. That retires Jose Rojas to start this inning. Brian Ray comes on. There's a grounder foul. That'll be 0-1 the count to Brian Ray.
And Brian Ray with a very impressive batting average himself. He averages a .417 on the year, and he's got 6 homers with 35 RBIs. Ray from Deltona High School up to bat.
Swung on, fouled, straight down, 0-2 now. And a quick look at the stat line for Nelson Alvarez. He pitched 3 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, allowed 3 runs, all 3 earned, gave up 5 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a hit batsman. Not the best day for Alvarez. His team now down 3-0 as Brian Ray strikes out swinging. We'll see if Jake Eichacker can do any better and keep his team in this game. Christian Garabedian comes on, first baseman. Comes on with 2 outs, nobody on. Calls for time, and he is granted it.
And Garabedian, a name we've heard a lot this tournament. He's had a pretty good tournament here for Miami-Dade as he takes a swing and a miss.
Big cut by Garabedian there. 0-1, 2 outs. Evan still pitching for Chipola, and that ball gets past Rivera over there at first. It's hard to get a ball past Rivera, him being 6'6", 250. That's a base hit for Christian Garabedian. That's the first hit of the ball game for Miami-Dade. So 3 2/3 innings pitched of no-hit baseball is over for Evan Steele. That'll bring up the right fielder Ramon Varela. First pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner.
And Evan Steele, he's a transfer from Vanderbilt University. He's got some experience there in the SEC.
That pitch outside. 1-2, 1-1. I apologize. Pitch was clocked at 77 on the curveball. Good job by Guzman, able to keep that in front of him. 1-1, 2 outs. Garabedian over there on first. Pitch over, another curveball. Grounded foul towards the Chipola dugout. Now it's 1-2. Varela steps in, awaits the pitch from Steele. Miami-Dade trying to answer the 3 runs that Chipola has scored so far. Chipola has scored 3 runs on 3 hits. There's a foul ball back. Still 1-2. And the most surprising number, 5 walks given up by Miami-Dade pitching, actually 6. 6 walks in total given up by Miami-Dade pitching and 1 hit batter. And move over to first. Gary Bedian back in easily. One and two the count, 2 outs. Gary Bedian over at first. Evan Steele looking to get out of this inning. And that was a close pitch. Curveball called high. 2-2. That'd be a tough pitch to lay off of for Varela. Hanging curveball up. But he lays off. And pays off for him, 2-2. And pitch inside, 3-2. Full count now. Second full count of the game for Evan Steele. Both of them have come to Ramon Varela.
And a great job by Varela, not getting impatient. He was down, and he's got a full count now. So great job the last 2 pitches being balls.
When you have 2 strikes on you, your job is to protect the plate, but you don't want to overprotect it. And the check swing is held up. That'll be a walk. First full count resulted in a strikeout looking. Second full count results in a walk.
Next batter for the Sharks is the catcher, number 23, Danny Mondahar.
Danny Mondahar comes up, the catcher. He grounded out to first in his first at bat, first and only at bat. He comes up with men on second, first and second. 2 outs. Good opportunity to get at least 1 back here. Chip into Chipola's lead. First pitch coming to Mondahar. Big cut on the curve. That'll be 0-1 to start him off. Miami-Dade dugout cheering on for Mondahar over there at the plate. And there's a long foul ball. That'll land out of play. 0-2 now to Mondahar.
And Mondahar with some power with that hit. That's the person you're going to want when you got a runner on first and runner on second with a batting average of .355 for the year. He's also got 46 RBIs, so he by far leads the team in RBIs as he gets set to hit here with an 0-2 count.
It's weird to see one of your better hitters batting in the 6th slot. That's how Miami-Dade has their lineup set up today. That's how they had it set up yesterday as well, so it looks like this may be a normal thing going forward. So whatever they've been doing, it's worked out. It's not the traditional way that you see a lineup set up, but whatever works, I guess. And it's brought them this far. 0-2 the count. Oh, 2 pitch coming. And he went. Yes, he did. Strike 3 to Mondahar. That will retire the side. No run scored. 1 hit. 2 men left on base. We'll be right back in the top half of the 5th inning. We are back here in the top half of the 5th inning. Chipola leads 3-0 over Miami-Dade, leading off for the Indians. The catcher, number 25, Max Guzman. Chipola batting in there half of the inning. Guzman is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts so far. And he hits that through the hole in between short and third. Good piece of hitting by Guzman. He gets on as the leadoff hitter. That'll bring up Brody Wofford, the right fielder. Wofford reached on an error in the 2nd inning, and he struck out looking in the 4th. He comes on with a man on first. No outs. Looking to get something going for his team here. They lead 3-0. I'm sure they'd like to expand upon that lead. First pitch taken for a strike. 0-1. Lead over there by Guzman. Couple feet. Pitch inside. And it hit him. Hit him on the leg. That is the second hit batter of the night by Miami-Dade. That's Jack Eichacker. Still in pitching for Miami-Dade. Runners on first and second. Taquan White comes up. He got a hit in his first at-bat to the left field single. And he was walked in his second at-bat last inning. Runners on first and second for Taquan White. He walked and scored last inning. Second run of the game. He looks to continue this. An interesting defensive switch. The Miami-Dade middle infielders, the second baseman and the shortstop, both ran to the opposite sides. Both ran to Jose Rojas ran over to third. And a pickoff move attempt over at second, trying to confuse Guzman. But he's back in there easily. Jose Rojas ran behind third. And Jackie Urbaez ran behind first. They look to be covering the corners in case a bunt is laid down to which they need to cover. They don't do it this time. Pitch is taken outside for a strike. 2-1. I've actually never seen a defensive shift like that before. It's very interesting. That pitch taken for a ball. 3-1 to Taquan White. Taquan White ahead in the count 3-1. Jack Eichacker looking to get the first out of the inning here. Guzman takes his lead over at second, and ball 4 called. That'll load the bases. No outs. And Trey Dawson, the shortstop, comes up to bat. Miami-Dade has had trouble getting the ball over the plate so far this game. They have walked 7 batters and have hit 3. They've hit 3 batters and walked 7. 10 free bases given away by Miami-Dade pitching. There's only been 4 innings played. Bases loaded, no outs. Strike called on the inside corner to Trey Dawson. Oh, 1 pitch to Dawson. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Big cut by Dawson. Trying to make something happen. Unable to make contact. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Mondejar. 1-2 now. Good job by Mondejar giving up the body to keep that pitch in front of him. 1-2 to Dawson. Pitch coming. Taken for a strike. Called. That'll be the first out of the inning. Second strikeout for Eichacker. 5 strikeouts on the night for Miami-Dade pitching. Edmund Americon reached on a bunt hit and a walk. He's 1 for 1 today. Takes that pitch for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 to Americon. And swung through that. 0-2. 2 good pitches by Eichacker. And a big cut by Americon. He knows what he wants to do in this situation. And swung on and missed. Strike 3. Eichacker strikes out Americon on 3 pitches. And just like that, it's now bases loaded with 2 outs. And Jose Caballero comes up to bat. Jose Caballero has been at bat 3 times and has walked 3 times. A walk here would bring in a run. A hit would likely bring in 2. An extra base hit would likely bring in 3. And there's a hit ball over to third base. And it looks like everybody's going to be safe, and they will be. And they will score that, I believe, as an error. No, that is a hit. Hit for Caballero. They'll call that an infield hit. And Caballero has his second RBI of the night. Bases are still loaded. Edgar Martinez couldn't handle that ball cleanly. It was a very hard hit ball. And Jacob Silverstein now batting. Chipola now leads 4-0. That pitch taken inside on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1.
And Eichacker, already the second pitcher in the game for this Miami-Dade team. Nelson Alvarez started the game.
And a bunt foul by Silverstein. That'll make the count 0-2. Surprise bunt. I didn't expect that. And the infield was deep. They're actually employing a little bit of a shift. And now that I say that, Rojas goes back to his normal position over at short. And a hard hit ball down the third base line. That goes foul. Still 0-2. We'll try that one more time. Huge opportunity to possibly put this game out of reach for Chipola. They had bases loaded with no outs. And Eichacker struck out 2 in a row for giving up that infield hit. That scored 1. And he hits Silverstein. And Silverstein will gladly take that curveball to the arm. That pitch about 70, 75 miles an hour. Doesn't hurt too bad. And it brings in a run. Second time on base for Silverstein. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout other than that. And Andrew Bechtold will come up to bat. Bechtold, like we've been saying almost all game long, batting .445. Played all 49 games for Chipola and scored 69 runs in the regular season. New pitcher for Miami-Dade when we come back. We are back here after that pitching change. New pitcher for Miami-Dade, number 17, Antonio Candelario. He comes in relief of Jack Eichacker. Eichacker pitched 2 1/3, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 3 hit batters, and he's responsible for all 3 runners on base right now. Andrew Bechtold, the hitter up right now. Andrew Bechtold, one of the best hitters in the nation for the number 2 ranked team in the nation, Chipola. 2-0 pitch, 2-0 count now for Bechtold. If anything changes on the scoreline for Eichacker in the next third of an inning, we'll let you know. We'll make sure to tell you, update his scoreline for the night. But now it's Candelario. 2-0 pitch to Bechtold, taken for a strike on the inside corner. 2-1. To put this in perspective, Chipola has 5 hits on the night. And there have been 7 walks and 3 hit batters. That pitch taken low for a strike. 2-2 now. So to reiterate, there have been double the amount of free bases given up from walks and hits as there have been, or from walks and hit batters than there have been hits. 10-5. 2-2 pitch to Bechtold. And he checks his swing. And the count is now full. There's really no question on that. He did check his swing in time. Three and 2 the count now. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Full count for Bechtold. And he is walked. That'll drive in another run. That'll be the 6th run of the ball game. Keeps the bases loaded for Ronaldo Rivera. Not much of a change in ability between these two batters. That's another run for Eichacker. So at this moment, 3 runs, all 3 earned. That pitch is fouled back by Rivera. 0-1 to start him off.
If you're Miami-Dade, you really can't let this game get away from you that much. I mean, it's 6-0 right now, and you know, we have seen one game called for a run rule. Sharks just got to keep it up.
0-2 now to Rivera. Candelario 1 pitch away from getting out of this big jam. Chipola now leads 6-0. And call strike 3 on the outside corner. That'll end the inning. 3 runs scored on 2 hits. And 3 men left on base. We'll be right back in the bottom half of the 6th. Miami-Dade will try to get something going on offense as they haven't been able to do so yet. We'll be right back.
And we are back here at the bottom of the 5th. Leading off for the Sharks is left fielder Joseph Renovales. That first pitch coming in is tipped, so that'll be a strike. 0-1 count now for Renovales, the 5'8", 156-pound freshman from Conrad High School. Evan Steele winds up, throws the pitch in, and a foul ball to the right. That ball bounces further up towards the Miller Lite 34 club here, where the Detroit Tigers play their spring training. So Joseph Renovales in the hole now, 0-2 count. Evan Steele, the 6'5", 210-pound pitcher, eyeing down the batter. He winds up the lefty, throws one, and there's a strike. So the first strikeout on Renovales, and that's 1 out. Up next to bat is number 18, Ronnie Pinalto, the 5'11", 180-pound freshman. He's a righty. He'll be going against Evan Steele, the left-handed pitcher. We've mentioned earlier that Evan Steele is a transfer from Vanderbilt. He's also originally from Marietta, Georgia. And that last pitch was called a ball, so a 1-0 count now. And the next one comes in, and that'll be called a strike by the umpire. We get the hand signal, and we've got a 1-1 count. That last pitch by Evan Steele clocked in at 90 miles per hour. Pitch coming in fast, and that one will be a strike as well. So 1-2 count now. Start off as 1-0. Last two pitches have been strikes. So 1-2-1 with 1 out, no runners on base. Penalto gets set. And a strikeout. Penalto not happy with that one, so that'll be another strikeout there for Evan Steele. And that'll be 2 outs. So 2 strikeouts in a row here for Evan Steele.
And Edgar Martinez comes up. Down 2 outs. He'll try to get something going in this half inning. His teammates have not been able to. 1-0 count now. And that pitch on the outside corner. Called a strike. One and 1 to Martinez. Evan Steele still in. And swung and a miss. 1-2. Big cut by Martinez, but no contact. And that pitch taken outside evens the count. 2-2. If you're just joining us, Chipola is in the white and Miami-Dade with the blue shirts. And that is a strikeout swinging for Martinez. That'll end the inning. We'll be right back in the top half of the 6th inning. We are back here in the top half of the 6th inning. Chipola leads Miami-Dade 6-0. Leading off for the Indians is catcher Max Guzman. He led off last inning. Singled to left and swung on. He tried to check, but he went around. 0-1. Guzman 1 for 3 on the day, grounded out twice before his single last inning. Came around and scored. That pitch is inside, called a ball. 1-1. After that last half inning, Evan Steele, the Chipola pitcher, has 10 strikeouts. He's given up 1 hit, no runs, no walks. And in perspective, Miami-Dade pitching has given up 8 walks, and they've gotten 5 strikeouts, and they've hit 4 batters. One-two count to Guzman. And takes that pitch low and outside. 2-2 now. Two-two pitch coming. Fouled off. Third base side by Guzman. I'm sorry, first base side. Another 2-2 pitch. Candelario is still out there for Miami-Dade. And that pitch is taken low and inside. Full count now to Guzman. Three-two pitch from Candelario. On its way to Guzman. And ball 4 low in the dirt. Another walk for Miami-Dade pitching. That is the 9th walk on the night for Miami-Dade pitching.
And tomorrow we have 3 games scheduled. To start off at 10 a.m. It's game 13 of the tournament. It's Santa Fe versus Northwest Florida State. Game 14 will be the loser of this game versus State College of Florida, as we get a steal from first to second. So the loser, game 14, will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock or after the game 13 game ends. So it'll be the loser of tonight versus State College of Florida. Game 15, the winner of tonight will play Palm Beach State. The only teams left undefeated will be the winner of tonight and Palm Beach State, and they play each other tomorrow for the 3rd game on Monday, May 8th.
That should be a very good game tomorrow night. If the score stands as is, it will be Palm Beach State versus Chipola at 4 o'clock. And he held up. That's Brody Wofford. 2-1 the count to him. Guzman advanced to second on that wild pitch. So now a runner in scoring position for Wofford. Two and one. Swung on, fouled to the third base side, deep. That lands past the stands. Way out of play. 2-2 the count now. And a quick correction. I said earlier Evan Steele had no walks. He does have 2 walks. 2 walks on the night for Evan Steele. And there's a grounder. Oh, great pick and a good play by Candelario, able to get to first to get that out. That was a wonderful, wonderful play by Garabedian. Able to pick that ball. That took a weird bounce, and he just put his glove right, just tossed his glove up pretty much. He was able to grab that ball. and get the out at first. Guzman advances to third on that play. That'll bring out to Quan White. He singled to left field in the second inning, and he's walked twice. That pitch taken outside, 1-0. 1 out for White. He's got Guzman over there at third. Infield coming in. That pitch taken for a strike. 1-1. One pitch on its way. Outside, 2-1. Infield still in, 2-1 pitch. Outside ball, 3-1 to Quan White. Ahead in the count, 3-1.
Man, I still can't get over that grab by Garabedian out there by first base.
That was outstanding.
Extremely athletic move and just pitching it right back to his pitcher to get that out.
And ball 4 outside. Third walk drawn on the day. 4 to Quan White. That'll put a runners at the corners. 1 out, and Trey Dawson, the shortstop, will come up to bat. Dawson hit by pitch in the 4th inning. We thought he was hit by a pitch in the 2nd, but the umpire called otherwise, and he struck out twice. Runners on first and third. Conference at the mound. Mondejar out to talk to his pitcher.
You know, Chris, we really thought it was going to be a slugfest here. No home runs yet.
Yeah, and only 6 hits on the night, mainly because of the less than accurate pitching today and the extremely accurate pitching by Evan Steele. He's pitched well. That pitch taken outside. 1-0 to start off Dawson.
And it's really surprising because Miami-Dade has a .350 batting average. You'd think they'd get a couple more hits, maybe some runs, but no luck.
Coming into this game with these two high-powered offenses, I thought this was going to be a double-digit ball game for both teams. As there's a double play ball to Rojas, and they're able to convert 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. We'll be right back in the bottom half of the 6th, where Miami-Dade will try to get something going on offense. You're watching the FCSAA Sports YouTube channel, bringing you the FCSAA JUCO Baseball State Tournament. I'm Chris Valentine alongside Marshall Watchers. We'll be right back. We are back here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, leading off for Miami-Dade, Jackie Baez. And he is hit by that pitch to start it off. That'll put Baez over at first. Second hit batsman of the day for Evan Steele. Couple bullpen guys running out for Chipola. That pitch taken on the outside for a strike. 0-1 to start off Rojas. And a pickoff move over there at first. 0-1 the count. And that pitch outside, good defense by Guzman, able to keep that ball in front of him. And there's some action going in both bullpens right now. Evan Steele has pitched well. Maybe they're trying to save his arm for one of the later games. Good curveball there by Steele, able to get Rojas swinging at air. 1-2 the count. That curveball clocked in at 76 miles an hour. Baez over there, still on first. Pitch outside, 2-2. And swung on, hit to center. Americon able to get the sliding catch. Good play out there in center field by Edmund Americon. And that's one away here. That'll bring up center fielder Brian Ray. Brian Ray has flown out to right, and he struck out on 3 pitches in the 4th inning. He'll look to try and provide some offense for Miami-Dade. There hasn't been much of it. Only 1 hit, no runs. That pitch taken outside for a strike. 0-1. One pitch coming. Grounded to short. Tough bobble. Good play. And a great double play over there at shortstop by Trey Dawson. And I don't know what they called. Did they call him safe over there at first? Either way, a great play by Dawson. Able to grab that ball on the bobble. They did. They called Brian Ray safe at first.
Talk about a play right there. Oh, my goodness. Here's a replay of it. Almost a double right here. Tagged out at second, coming straight through, and it looks like...
Oh, he got him. Looking at the replay, Brian Ray was not there before the ball into the glove of Rivera. Bad call made there at first, but no matter. 2 outs. We know how it worked. We know how it happened.
Wow. Great double play there and great effort. And again, on that last play, it really does show the flexibility of that first baseman, you know. Ronaldo Rivera just stretching out that long 6'6" body of his. And, you know, from the replay, it did look like he was out. So, but the umpire is right next to there, and I guess he's called safe at first.
We did have a slowed down version of the play. He had to make that call in real time. It was a close play, but it looked like he was out at first. And there's strike 2 and 1. This is Christian Garabedian, the first baseman for Miami-Dade, up to bat. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's gotten a single into right field. Either way, that was an amazing effort and amazing play, recovery by Trey Dawson. He bobbled that ball when he first handled it, and he grabbed it, barehanded it in the air, and tossed it over to Caballero to get the lead runner. Caballero's throw a little bit offline, but with the 6'6" Rivera, you just have to get it close. He got it there. It looked like it was a double play. But Brian Ray is on first base right now. And swung and a miss. Strike 3. Huge strikeout for Evan Steele. And if that's the last time that we see Steele tonight, which it could be with that bullpen session in there, it's been a great night for Evan Steele. He struck out 11 tonight, and he's allowed 1 hit and no runs. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Chipola's offense will come back up, trying to put this game completely out of reach for Miami-Dade. We'll be right back. We are back here in the top half of the 7th inning. Chipola leads Miami-Dade 6-0. Leading off for Chipola in this half inning, center fielder Edmund Americon. He had a bunt hit in the 2nd. He was walked in the 4th, and he struck out in the 5th. Takes that pitch for a strike. 0-1 to start him off. So 1 for 2 on the day for Americon. That pitch in there for a strike as well. 0-2. There's a new pitcher on for Miami-Dade. That pitch is in the dirt. 1-2. Number 33, Ariel Prieto. He'll start off against Americon. Miami-Dade's pitching has been problematic, to say the least. They've given up 9 walks and have hit 3 batters. And there's a ground over to second. Good play made by Jackie Urbias. You have the speedy Americon out at first. That'll bring up Jose Caballero, Chipola's second baseman. He has walked 3 times, and he had an infield hit for an RBI in the 5th inning. He'll come up with 1 out, nobody on. We'll get to Antonio Candelario's scoreline for the night in a moment. That pitch is taken on the outside corner. 0-1. And laying down a bunt is Caballero. And he looks like he will beat it out, and he will. Good bunt single by Caballero. Unable to get that throw there in time after that bunt caught everybody off guard was Edgar Martinez. Good attempt, but unable to get that throw there in time.
And man, Caballero flew to that base. Holy cow! That he got there so quick, and you know that explains why he's got second most stolen bases on the team. Obviously behind Andrew Bechtold with the all-star statistics here, but Jose Caballero, the speedster, getting to first.
And we haven't really had a chance to see Caballero's speed. And that's the first time that we have, and he's faster than I thought he would be. That first pitch taken for a ball. 1-0 to start off Jacob Silverstein, the DH. He's walked, he's been hit by a pitch, he's flown out, and he struck out. He has an RBI, 2 RBIs. No, 1 RBI on the day. I apologize. That pitch taken for a strike. 1-2 now the count. Silverstein, good hitter from the left side. He has Caballero over there on first. And Andrew Bechtold is on deck for Chipola. Prieto's pitch swung on, fouled back into the netting. He'll stay 1-2.
Silverstein a little bit late on that last pitch. He has a short chop on that as that flies straight back into the net.
Able to keep himself alive by making contact. And that pitch hit him on the elbow, on that elbow guard. Yet another hit batter for Miami-Dade. And yes, as Miami-Dade's coach Danny Price goes out to ask the umpire and argue his case, I did hit Silverstein's elbow. You can see the redirection. That'll put runners on first and second for Andrew Bechtold. I don't think we need to stress his stats anymore tonight. We've done that plenty. And if you take a look at them, they speak for themselves. Danny Price still holding this game up, arguing a hit by pitch that was a hit by pitch. Second time we've seen an argument over a possible hit by pitch. The first one in the second inning for Trey Dawson. Looked like it hit off his leg, but the umpire said otherwise, and he later struck out in that at bat. 1-0 count, that pitch taken away by Bechtold. Bechtold has 2 men on, first and second. Good curveball by Prieto. Able to get the first strike of the at-bat. Big righty. Out of Baddock High School. Stands 6'2", weighs 244. Big boy over there on the mound. Eager to see what he can do. That pitch in there. Another curveball. That one inside and low. 2-1. 3-1. I apologize. 3-1. I apologize. 3-0. That pitch taken outside. There's an issue with the scoreboard, so it was 2-1. Now it's 3-1. And they fixed it. Our scoreboard was correct. The one on the field was incorrect. I should have more confidence in our tech guy, a.k.a. color commentary, Marshall Watchers. I apologize. 3-2 the count now. Full count to Bechtold. We are 5 minutes away from tomorrow. Yet another slot of games in which have and a pickoff attempt over at second. Back in was Caballero. He looked to get a running start, and he quickly realized his mistake and ran back. This is the third day in a row in which the games will get past midnight, unless this game miraculously ends in the next 4.5 minutes. And double steal, and ball four, I apologize. And that'll load the bases. Yet another walk for Miami-Dade pitching.
And now the big man comes up to bat.
I thought the big man was at bat.
The second big man, Ronaldo Rivero. He leads the team with 12 homers. So with bases loaded and only one out, it's looking good right now for this Chipola team. If I were the coach, I'd just tell Rivera to just swing away.
I mean, if I'm the coach, I'm letting Rivera do what he wants.
With someone that big, I think Rivera's the coach now.
Him and Bechtold have taken over this team. They now own the entire college of Chipola. 0-1 to start, 1-0 to start him off. And a big blast over the Margaritaville patio onto the roof. That is a grand, and I mean grand, slam. That is the farthest home run we have seen in this tournament. That easily went 380 down the right field line. And this game is now 10-0. That was a bomb. My goodness.
Wow.
I'm at a loss for words.
Margaritaville patio, untouched as that ball easily flies over it.
That was...
He put all 250 pounds of that frame behind him in that shot.
That almost put a hole in the glass windows in that restaurant back there. That's incredible. I am amazed at what I just saw. We knew he had power. We didn't know he had that much power. That's one of the most impressive home runs I've seen in my entire life.
Wow.
And I've been following baseball. I've been watching baseball for the better half of my 19 years. Yes, I just gave away my age. 19.
And I bet the scouts down there are just immediately the pens went to the paper writing down Rivera's name.
Those scouts are salivating. They cannot wait until the expansion draft, or not the expansion draft, the amateur players draft in the next, I believe, early June, as I believe it is. They want Rivera on their team, as well as Bechtold. But That shot by Rivera, I'm not going to forget that anytime soon. That was...
Well, Rivera, by far the biggest person in this tournament. We haven't seen anyone close. And, you know, it's funny. We were actually just talking about Aaron Judge, the rookie on the Yankees. What's he listed at? 6'7", 280?
6'6", 280.
I mean, that's just enormous for any sport even. That's just, you know.
And
so.
I cannot be any less concerned with the current at-bat. I'm still in shock as to how far that ball went. And if you weren't here, I feel bad for you as Guzman goes down swinging. And some words. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, please not now. Not this. Words exchanged between Miami-Dade catcher Mondejar and Guzman. Almost caused the benches to clear. I've never seen that in person. I don't really want to. I've seen how violent they can get. And I don't want to see that here.
So we're going to take a quick break in the action here as these teams...
We'll let the tension settle.
Cool off, yeah.
We'll be right back. All right, so that took less time than we expected. We are back here. Brody Wofford. Now at bat, base is clear. Rivera made sure of that. There's a few people searching for that ball out there at the Margaritaville patio. In the beginning of the tournament, you and I took notice of that Margaritaville patio pretty quick. And we wanted to see a home run hit there so bad. Took, I believe it was 5 or 6 games for one to get there. And now I could be no less concerned with that Margaritaville patio because I was hit over the Margaritaville patio. And I can't believe I'm still talking about it. And I'm sure the viewers are...
Only few of them have really gone over there. Most of them have been favored towards the left side of the field, I guess because most righties have been hitting it over there towards the Corona Cabana.
I'm okay with that one as well. That's two very good names for the outfield areas. That pitch inside, 2-2 to Wofford. That pitch outside, 3-2, 86-mile-an-hour slider. Unable to catch the corner. Brody Wofford with a full count. He's reached on an error. He's reached on a hit by pitch. He fouls that down the first base line. And I don't think Varela was paying attention out there. I think he was looking back at the Chipola bullpen. Took him a few seconds to react. There's a foul ball back, all the way back.
So Ariel Prieto here looking to strike out Brody Wofford. 3-2 count still. Prieto winds up.
That pitch inside. Oh, wow. Wow. That was highly questionable. You even hit the strikeout animation on our program. That's a very questionable call. Let's take a quick look at that. Let's see how far Wofford has to jump in. That was very questionable.
Wofford even looked like he was preparing to walk to first.
He was.
He was tossing his bat over.
He was halfway up the first baseline, and rightfully so. This hasn't been the best officiated game we've seen. We've seen a near base clear, or bench clear, I apologize. We've seen a number of questionable calls on the base path, including that Trey Dawson double play that should have been a double play. We've seen 2 hit batters be argued One of them, we believe, should have been a hit batter in Trey Dawson again.
That's right. So, anyways, we have a 10-0 game right now. Chipola leads, and
I'm good with not taking a break right now. I honestly am still in awe about that home run. I know you're probably sick of hearing about it in the audience, but you didn't see it. You did not see how high that ball got. You did not see how hard that was hit.
I'll tell you
and you
what,
did not hear that pop off the bat. That pop was the most pure pop I've ever heard from an aluminum bat.
Well, there was no question. As soon as that came off the bat, you knew that was out of the park. No sign of dropping, nothing at all. You just knew that thing looked like it was going to the moon. That thing was out of here. So now we've got a 10-0 run. Miami-Dade going to have a chance to try and score some runs here. If not, I believe they will call the
Yes, it'll be a 10-run rule.
Game.
The run rules for this tournament are 10 after 5 and 8 after 7. Any point after that the run rules are met, the game shall be called. As long as the losing team has their fair chance, in accordance to how many chances the leading team has. So that would be this inning. So if Miami-Dade can't score 3 runs in this inning, and they haven't had much offense going for them all game long, and as I say that, the first batter,
that's Bruce Martin, number 12. A great shot by him there, as he has a .333 batting average this year.
As soon as I say that, they take Evan Steele out of the game after 6 innings. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and he recorded 10 strikeouts. 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. If you want to take a look at an interesting stat in my mind, the Miami-Dade pitching had 5 hit batters and 10 walks in their first 7 innings. Evan Steele had 10 strikeouts and 2 walks. Good performance by Evan Steele. Very good performance. Not the best that we've seen, but one of. This Chipola team, coming into this tournament, we knew that they were ranked 2nd in the country, but we hadn't been able to watch many games. They have exceeded all expectations I have had for them. Their offense speaks for itself. As Martin strikes out Barbado, he was pinch hitting for Ramon Varela. Nope. Yes. Now Raul Cabrera comes on to bat. Looks like they're giving their young guys a chance to get some tournament experience. They've all but I wouldn't say given up. That good play over at third. I was back told there. That was a wonderful throw. Able to get the lead runner over at second. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 7th. 1 man on. And that will be AJ Puigsever, the right-handed first and third baseman out of Doral Academy High School. Sophomore. He'll get his first at bat of the tournament. First pitch. Taken outside. Ball 1. 1-0. Miami-Dade effectively has 1 out remaining before this game is over, and they'll take their first mark in the loss column. And swung on. Couldn't check. Couldn't hold up. Was Puigsever. That'll even count 1-1. So barring a miracle comeback, Marshall, let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, our first game starting at 10 a.m. will be Santa Fe versus Northwest Florida State. It'll be an elimination game. Game 14 will be the loser of tonight.
And we assume that would be Miami-Dade, barring a miracle comeback.
And they will play State College of Florida at 1 p.m. And that'll also be an elimination game.
1-2 the Count to Puig Ever. Go ahead.
Game 15 tomorrow, the final game, will be most likely around 7 or 8 p.m. 4 or 5 p.m.
And swung on and miss. That'll be the ball game. 10-run rule for Chipola as they manhandle. And I believe that is the correct term after seeing what I just saw. We thought Miami-Dade, and they are a very good team. They have an amazing offense. They have good pitching, but you didn't see it today. All you saw was pure domination on the part of Chipola. Evan Steele pitched great. Bruce Martin pitched pretty well. Gave up the one hit.
So as of right now, Game 15 tomorrow will be set for 4 p.m., and it'll be Chipola versus Palm Beach State, as both teams here are 2-0 in the tournament.
The only two teams that are undefeated, and Palm Beach State we did not expect, and we did not expect Santa Fe to be in the loss column. But we can't count out the Panthers of Palm Beach, just like we can't count out the Sharks of Miami-Dade. I'm very excited for the games on the docket for tomorrow. And it looks like Mondejar and Guzman are talking over any issues that they had with each other. And good to see that. Good to see that. Good sportsmanship shown by both catchers. And you love to see that. You love to see a disagreement worked out without fighting. That'll be it for us today. We'll be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. sharp. It'll be Santa Fe versus Northwest Florida State. Game 13 tomorrow, Monday, May 8th. We'll be right here at Publix Field at Joker Marchant Stadium. On behalf of Marshall Watrous, Andrew Laguerre, Davey Gill, Kelly Warren, everybody who's made this trip and this broadcast possible, thank you for tuning in. Chipola defeats Miami-Dade 10-0 after 7. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Thank you for tuning in.